The museum's secret. There was a small museum in the heart of the city that had been around for as long as anyone could remember. It was filled with old relics and artifacts from around the world, each with its own story to tell. For years, people had flocked to the museum to see these treasures and learn about the history of the world. But there was one exhibit in the museum that was different from all the others. It was a small, unassuming room tucked away in the back, behind a heavy wooden door. Most people never even knew it was there, and those who did had always assumed it was just another exhibit like the rest. But one day, a young girl named Lily stumbled upon the room by accident. She was exploring the museum on her own, fascinated by the stories of the past that lay hidden behind each display case. As she wandered through the galleries, she found herself drawn to the back of the building, where the air grew colder and the light grew dimmer. That was when she saw the door. It was a simple wooden door, with a brass handle and a keyhole that looked as though it had not been used in years. Lily reached out tentatively and tried the handle, expecting it to be locked. But to her surprise, the door swung open with ease. What she found inside took her breath away. The room was unlike anything she had ever seen before. It was small and circular, with walls made entirely of shimmering crystal. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, on top of which rested a single, glowing orb. Lily approached the pedestal cautiously, wondering what this strange object could be. As she drew nearer, she felt a faint hum in the air and a strange sensation of energy coursing through her body. She reached out to touch the orb, and as soon as her fingers brushed its surface, she was transported to another world. It was a world of magic and wonder, filled with strange creatures and mystical landscapes. Lily could hardly believe what she was seeing, and yet she knew, somehow, that it was real. For hours she explored this new world, marveling at its wonders and learning its secrets. But eventually, she knew she had to return to her own world before the museum closed for the night. As she stepped back onto the pedestal, she felt a rush of energy coursing through her once again. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the world faded away, and she found herself back in the crystal room. Breathless with wonder and excitement, Lily knew that she had stumbled upon something incredible. And as she left the museum that day, she knew that she would be back to explore the secrets of that mysterious crystal room once again. From that day on, Lily became obsessed with the crystal room. She visited the museum every day, eager to explore the magical world that lay beyond the orb. As she spent more time in the crystal room, she began to notice strange things happening around her. Objects in the museum would move on their own, and sometimes she would catch glimpses of mysterious figures darting through the shadows. At first, she dismissed these occurrences as her imagination running wild. But as they continued, she began to realize that there was something more going on. One day, as she was exploring the magical world beyond the orb, she stumbled upon a group of strange creatures huddled around a glowing crystal. They looked up as she approached, and she could sense their distrust and suspicion. But as she began to talk to them, they started to open up to her. They told her of a great danger that was threatening their world, an ancient evil that had been awakened and was now threatening to destroy everything. Lily knew that she had to help. She returned to her own world, determined to find a way to stop the evil before it was too late. But when she got back to the museum, she found that the crystal room was gone. In its place was a plain, empty room, with no sign of the magical world that had once been there. Lily was devastated. She had lost the only connection she had to the creatures in the magical world, and she didn't know how to find them again. For months she searched, scouring the museum and its archives for any clue as to what had happened to the crystal room. And then, one day, she stumbled upon a dusty old book that contained the key to her search. It was a book of ancient spells and incantations, and buried within its pages was a ritual that would allow her to summon the crystal room back into existence. With trembling hands, Lily began the ritual. She spoke the words of power, and as she did, the air around her began to shimmer and glow. And then, with a burst of light, the crystal room appeared before her once again. Lily knew that she had to act fast. She entered the magical world, and with the help of the creatures she had befriended, began to search for a way to defeat the ancient evil that threatened to destroy everything. As they journeyed through the magical world, facing countless dangers and obstacles, Lily began to realize that she was not just fighting for the safety of this world, she was also fighting for her own. For she had come to love this strange, enchanted realm, with its creatures and wonders and mysteries. And she knew that if the evil were to win, everything she had grown to cherish would be lost forever. And so she fought with all her heart and soul, pushing herself to the very limits of her strength and courage. And though the road was long and hard, and the dangers seemed insurmountable, Lily never wavered. For she knew that this was only the beginning, that there were more challenges, more dangers, more wonders waiting for her beyond the crystal room. And she was determined to face them all and to explore the magical world to its fullest. And so, with a fierce determination burning in her heart, Lily stepped forward to face whatever lay ahead, ready for whatever adventure might come her way.